Okay, another another Sunday. Well, you got the camera going, looking better. Got some of the bugs out. Hello, Sharp. Happy Sunday. Okay. Yeah, that was weird last week. What I did after signing off, like I worked on the camera for about an hour before I started the live stream. Couldn't get it to function. After the live stream, 10 minutes, I had it working. Don't ask me what happened. I have no idea. It's happened once before too. So anyways, it's another week and another show. So I hope everybody's doing okay. All things considered, I'm usually not the bearer of good news, and today is no exception. Now, I've been looking here at this Tim Houston, the Premier of Nova Scotia, and he's a progressive conservative party. Not a conservative party, it's a progressive conservative party. You know what that means? That means liberal light. So, what he's up to, there's John, Timothy, Faye. Yeah, what this clown's up to is, I'll show you here, and I'll jump out. This is his game here. He's been pitching this. He wants to have the Wind West, the offshore wind energy project. Phoebe. Halifax, Nova Scotia, far east of Canada. In response to Prime Minister Mark Carney's bid to make Canada an energy superpower, BS, Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston is floating the idea of dramatically ramping up the province's nascent offshore and wind energy industry. So they dropped in that, is floating the idea, haha. In an online video released last week, Houston says he's hoping Carney's Liberal government will supply the federal money needed for a new mega project the Premier has dubbed Wind West. Progressive Conservative Premier says the province is on the edge of a clean energy breakthrough, and he plans to support construction of enough offshore wind turbines to supply 27% of Canada's total demand for electricity. It hasn't worked anywhere else in the world, but Mr. Tim Houston thinks that he's more smarter. Nova Scotia has no offshore wind turbines. That's a good thing. But the province is in the process of licensing projects that could produce up to 5 gigawatts of electricity by 2030. Up to 5 gigawatts, right? Maybe 1, maybe half. Nova Scotia has no, now the Premier's plan calls for private and government funding to to pay for construction. That's people's funding, by the way. It's not the government. Let's say private and citizen funding. We'll make that clarification right now. To pay for construction of enough turbines to generate 40 gigawatts of electricity, 8 times greater than the current projects, as well as a cross-country electricity cable for all those nice mandatory EVs that Mark Carney wants to force on everybody, which is not going to happen. Anyways, meanwhile, Houston's government has yet to release any details about how this plan would be rolled out aside from what's in the video. Well, we're not going to watch any video on it, that's for sure. Of course, there are questions, Houston says. Big projects always raise questions, but we are committed to working with Nova Scotians to ensure this project will benefit everyone. Well, I'm going to beg to differ on that, because I will bring up this video. I have to go into my software and switch over so you can hear the audio on this. Bear with me for a half a minute or so.
depot.com. He's Mark Moreno. Mark, it's so good to see you. When you heard this, what was your reaction? Why should Americans be forced to live under California's power grab and their regulations when none of their state representatives or even voters in these states voted for that?
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. I was in the U.S. Senate Environment Public Works Committee back during the Bush and Obama administrations, and we were trying to get rid of this California waiver back then. It basically lets California's wacko environmental policies dictate to the rest of the country how we have to have environmental policy, energy policy, and this is what when you see Gavin Newsom on TV and he acts like the Congress defied the will of the people, you said it, Liz. Even the California legislature never voted. This was an executive order. Unelected bureaucrats, California Air Resources Board, and then unelected bureaucrats at Biden's EPA. In fact, around the world, no one voted. You had the World Bank threatening to cut off funds if automakers produce gas-powered cars. You had corporate banks threatening to cut off loans for people who got gas-powered cars. You have cities in Colorado and California trying to limit the creation of new gas stations to create gas station shortages. The fix was in, and it took the orange one, Donald Trump, with common sense. I can't really fault a single word he just said in the opening. He nailed it. Donald Trump and Lee Zeldin should be winning every award possible. Lee Zeldin is the most effective EPA administrator in its history. This was something that was long overdue, and the key, Liz, this is the key. Congress got involved. This isn't just an executive order that the next president can overturn. And we had a vote by Congress. Kudos to the Congress for this.
And there was zero common sense by Joe Biden trying to force all truckers to go zero emissions and RVs and motorhomes. You know the weight of that, Mark? That would have destroyed every bridge and road in the United States of America, the weight of those batteries. Now, let's take a listen. Let's stay on this, Mark. Trump, listen to President Trump and what he said and what green energy liberals wanted to force on all of America. Watch.
The windmills are killing our country, by the way. The fields are littered with them, junk. They're littered with them. And they get older and they get rusty and they get bad and they get... This is other countries also. It's the greatest scam in history. It's the most expensive energy you can buy. They're ugly. And then they start to rust after 4 or 5 years. And then they start to wear out. And nobody takes them because you're not allowed to bury the propellers, the props, right? You can't bury the props for some reason. I don't know why, but they say that you can't bury a certain type of fiber, and if it goes in the ground, we're all going to die. So what they do is they leave them up. It's like you're riding through a junkyard. Windmills all over the place.
That's all that plastic, Mark, is way more than all the plastic straws they wanted to ban. Plus, those windmills need oil and lubricants to work. I mean, we've got 1 million acres in the United States littered with solar panel farms. That's destroying American farmland and pastures. But Biden gave hundreds of billions of dollars in money and now in tax breaks. Now we've got about 100 solar companies went bankrupt last year, Mark.
Yeah, and they went bankrupt in an environment with massive subsidies and with regulations trying to ban their competition. It produces, again, less than 4% of total energy, less than 14% of electrical grid. There's no there, solar and wind combined. Takes fossil fuels to make tons of renewable, non-renewable plastic, cement, concrete, nothing green about them. They don't produce energy. This is the greatest victory, one of the greatest days in American energy history. We should savor this. It is an amazing thing to watch the net zero blackouts come crashing down.
Yeah, this is going to be looked at again as one of the biggest blunders under the Biden White House and Democrats in U.S. history. Mark Moreno, thank you so much for being with us. Now, please watch this.
Thank you.
I guess I didn't have my mic on, did I? Yeah, okay, I got the, thanks, Sharp. So, yeah, it's a mess. Like I say, Trump described it very well. It's like a scrapyard or a junkyard, and it's out in the ocean. I don't know how they will lubricate them. And like I say, when they fall apart, there will be debris floating. Who knows where it's going to end up? Could be Europe, UK, it could be United States, Canada, Greenland, Iceland. Who knows where it's going to go, right? Some of it might fall down into the bottom of the ocean, but I don't think so. I think the tides and the currents will take it wherever its destination might be. Faye. Yeah, I'm not technologically challenged, right? I try. I have my moments when I succeed, and I have my moments when I fail. So now I'm going to, I think that was it for the climate issue. Well, there's this little blurb here that I'll just read off, and this is, I'll bring it up so you can see what I'm reading here. I'll deke out again. And it basically says no climate, no gender. Canada's G7 summit agenda shows shift in priorities. Well, it'd be kind of a bad setup to start bringing up this climate and the EVs and the windmills and the solar panels when President Trump is there, which he is fed up with. So it's not because Carney didn't want to bring it up. It's because he knew better. Because it wasn't going to go over very good on him, right? When President Donald Trump joins world leaders at the Group of Seven summit in Canada today, June 15th, he'll find a different agenda waiting for him. And this is very, well, sneaky. That's Carney, right? In one side of his mouth, he's saying that he's going to mandate electric vehicles and solar power and windmills and whatever other gadgets he can come up with to stay away from the oil and gas industry. On the other side of his mouth, he's saying that, yeah, we got to get pipelines, and gender equality doesn't mean he's not onto that, but he is, because I just seen his son, who is trans, that was looking like a complete idiot, and he was praising his son for up dancing and looking like a clown, a trans clown. So anyways, this year's gathering will prioritize issues such as energy security, artificial intelligence, critical mineral supply chains, and global economic stability. Carney is signing a deal with the United States of America on our critical mineral supply, and it's a secret. Nobody knows what he's signing off on. The guy is ruling like he's a supreme leader and has complete control, which he's totally illegal, but he's signing off on this. Once these agreements are signed, he's got his name on it. That's it. It's a done deal, folks. It's all over. So anyways, global economic stability is another one, which Canada can't do anything about, reflecting a shift in priorities driven by Trump's return to the White House and renewed focus on the G7's original mission, according to experts. Oh no, they got the experts in. Trade tensions heightened by recent U.S. tariffs, along with geopolitical crises like the Israel-Iran escalation, the Russia-Ukraine war, and the Gaza conflict. Oh, we didn't mention the riots in the United States that the lefties are broke out into, and they're trying to tear the place apart and burn it down. I guess it doesn't mean anything to them. I think it means a lot to the Americans. And we got a bunch of idiots in Canada jumping on the bandwagon, of course. Many believe Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, as the host of this year's summit, is adopting a pragmatic approach to ensure the meeting addresses the most pressing challenges that resonate with all member countries. If topics such as climate change or gender are raised, Leaders are unlikely to go beyond existing agreements or make new commitments. Well, that's a good thing. But Carney won't follow along. Paul Sampson, head of the Centre for International Governance Innovation, a Canada-based think tank, told the Epoch Times. Many organizations and even some countries are hoping for new commitments on gender and climate, he noted, but it's not going to happen at this table. They wouldn't even be able to get it in the communique with President Trump there, he said. Aha, there's the bottom line right there, folks. The upcoming meeting, which marks the 50th anniversary of the G7, will be held in Kananaskis, Alberta from June 15th to 17th. Well, there's a nice bow, Excalibur. The group, which comprises the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the European Union, represents more than half of the global GDP. But we're at the very bottom of that bunch. We're almost negative. We applaud the back-to-basics approach the Canadians have taken on the G7, focusing on core economic issues and actionable issues where the G7 can have a meaningful, measurable impact, a U.S. official told the Epoch Times. Their agenda, the first one, is protecting communities and the world by addressing issues such as foreign interference and transnational crime, according to the agenda, and improving joint responses to wildfires. The second priority is enhancing energy security and accelerating the use of AI and quantum technologies. This involves strengthening critical mineral supply chains. And lastly, Canada aims to discuss future partnerships by increasing private investment in infrastructure. Probably Brookfield Management, just a wild guess here. Creating high-paying jobs, we'll see, and opening dynamic markets. It's all words with no meaning. The G7 Leaders Summit in Kananaskis is a moment for Canada to work with reliable partners to meet challenges with unity, purpose, and force, Carney said in a statement. Canada is ready to follow. Oh no, wait, that's Carney. Canada is ready to lead. Sorry, folks, okay. The leaders will focus on areas where common ground is possible, according to Samon, particularly around energy supply chains and how to power the AI and the data revolution. Trump's first Canada summit. The last time Canada hosted the G7 summit in 2018 during Trump's first term, relations between then Prime Minister and Justin Trudeau and Trump were notably strained. The summit in Charlevoix, Quebec ended with heightened tensions over trade. Trump left early and declined to endorse the joint communique. It was the first time in G7 history that the final statement was not unanimously backed by all leaders because Trudeau screwed that up. I added that at the end because they wouldn't do it. And that, folks, is what's going down there in Kananaskis. But, wait, there's more. Hey, Carney made a deal with Trump. He gets first dibs on the minerals, on our minerals. That's right, yeah. Totally illegal. But that don't mean anything to Carney, does it? What's a little legal issue? Well, big deal. He's never paid attention to that before. Why would he start now? Considers himself the lawmaker. We consider him the lawbreaker. What else did I have here? Okay, so that took care of our climate issues that I had up there. Mark Morano, always good to hear from him. And that was Zero Hedge, that last one. Now, would you trust? This is a rhetorical question. Would you trust these individuals and what they have to say here? I'll leave that up to you to decide. I'll bring it up, see if I can get the audio figured out. Where'd my pointer go? Okay, just hang with me. Here we go.
How are you, sister? Very good to see you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Happy Father's Day for those celebrating. It's a great pleasure to welcome Prime Minister Starmer and Aidan Gomez here this morning to Ottawa, to Centre Block. You know, the Government of Canada has been working closely with Cohere, one of Canada's and one of the world's leading AI companies. Many applications that we can use, that Canadian businesses can use, and the world can use. And we're absolutely thrilled that a partnership is developing between the United Kingdom and Cohere. Prime Minister will speak to that in a moment. But I'll just say one other thing, which is that the UK, Canada we'd like to say as well, have been one of the pioneers in not just AI development, but also the safety and security of the applications of AI to really realize the full potential. And we're deepening the collaboration between Canada's AI Safety Institute and the new UK Security Institute. And this is going to help to realize the full potential for all our citizens. So, Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mark and Aidan, as well. Thank you. I think this really symbolises the joint work we can do together on what is a really important next frontier, AI, tech, and the transformation that is going to be brought around in this relationship and what we can do, whether that's the delivery of government services, public services, infrastructure, energy, you name it. And it's really good. And I think it's a real indication of the strength of the relationship between our two countries that we're able to bring this together in this joint way. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for this opportunity, and I'm much looking forward to the way in which we're going to continue to work together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
We're super excited to be partnering with both governments. I think this is personally quite special to me as the son of a Canadian father and British mother. So it's a really special moment to be with both of you, and Cohere is excited to strengthen the innovation of both of our countries, as well as the sovereignty. So thank you for your partnership and your support.
Oh, thank you.
Very good. Okay, well, that is the foundation on which to grow. So we will continue with the bilateral conversation. All right, thanks again.
Great.
Thank you all.
All right.
Okay. I don't believe a word. Well, I do actually. I'm going to backtrack. I do believe what Carney said, because he talked about AI and security. Well, when you put AI and security together, just look at Starmer. Starmer has got the UK under complete surveillance. There's cameras everywhere. People can't step outside their door. I know we're pretty bad here, but nothing like the UK yet. Carney has his way. We're going to be exactly like the UK, or we'll be trying to keep up with the UK, because the UK is probably going to get worse as long as Starmer is still in there. And Carney's all bought in. He'll be big time, because I've got another video that it's 8 minutes long, and it's Whitney Webb. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's on X. It's on a different X channel, but yeah, it's Whitney Webb, and there's another guy, commentator, the owner of the channel, that has put some comments there in the middle. And it finishes with Whitney again. I appreciate Whitney's work. She's a deep dive journalist. Between her and Sam Cooper and a couple of others, they really bring the issues to the front, eh? So let's go. Let's check this out. Yeah, we'll do this one now. I got it in order here, so let's try that. 8 minutes long.
Mark Carney isn't stepping into power to protect Canadian sovereignty. He's here to dissolve it. This is not an elected leader with a mandate from the people. This is a banker groomed by global institutions, positioned at the helm of the most powerful central banks in the West, and now parachuted into Canada's top office in the middle of an engineered crisis. Carney was governor of the Bank of Canada during the 2008 crash. Then he was handed the top job at the Bank of England, becoming the first non-Brit to hold that position in over 3 centuries. That wasn't a promotion. That was placement, a signal to the global financial elite that Carney wasn't just one of them. He was ready for the next phase of the project. And that project is global governance, technocratic control, a world where countries exist in name, but real decisions are made by unelected bureaucrats, asset managers, and central banks. Carney has never hidden his loyalties. He's a key figure within the World Economic Forum, a trusted architect of Klaus Schwab's Great Reset. He doesn't just support stakeholder capitalism, he helped design its playbook. He spent the last several years preparing the framework for an economic transition that replaces national interest with global compliance, freedom with surveillance, and sovereignty with dependency. Carney's language is the same coded language used by every WEF loyalist: sustainability, resilience, inclusion, and climate finance. But decode that language and the reality is much darker. What they call climate finance is the commodification of nature, turning forests, oceans, carbon footprints, and even your personal behavior into financial instruments to be tracked, traded, and controlled. It's not about protecting the environment. It's about creating a new asset class for the elite. And once human behavior becomes an asset, it can also become a liability, something to be taxed, fined, or restricted. This is Carney's real vision for Canada, not protection from Trump, but deeper integration into a technocratic system designed in Davos and enforced through digital chains. He is a leading proponent of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, which are being marketed as efficient and modern, but are, in fact, tools of unprecedented control. Programmable money means conditional money. Money that can be restricted based on who you are, where you are, what you say, or how you behave. Pair that with digital ID systems, biometric tracking, and algorithmic decision-making, and the result is a digital prison where your ability to participate in society depends on your willingness to comply with the demands of unelected global institutions. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is openly admitted policy. Carney has published it. The WEF has published it. The Bank for International Settlements has published it. What they need now is public consent, or at the very least, public submission.
Carney is a central figure in what's being called the Great Reset, playing a pivotal role in pushing Klaus Schwab's dystopian vision. He's a strong advocate for stakeholder capitalism, a model where global corporations, not governments, hold the power, all while cloaking it in the language of sustainability and inclusion. The truth behind these terms, including the promotion of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, reveals a digital prison, not a financial innovation. Carney's rise isn't about protecting Canada from external threats, including Trump. It's about integrating Canada into a global system that's already in motion. His vision for Canada isn't about preserving its national identity, but dismantling it entirely. Under his leadership, technocracy replaces democracy, where unelected elites like Carney manipulate policies for control. According to Whitney Webb, the technocratic future isn't a distant threat. It's already here. Let's hear more from her interview.
Enter Trump. Yes, Trump's rhetoric is hostile. Yes, his tariffs are aggressive, but that aggression is being weaponized, not resisted, by people like Carney. It creates the chaos needed to justify the solution, the elevation of so-called responsible technocrats into positions of unaccountable power. Carney steps in not as a champion of Canadian independence, but as the system's answer to Trump's disorder. But the order being offered is not democratic. It's not even Canadian. It's global governance disguised as national leadership, a managed transition from self-rule to centralized oversight, not from Washington, but from Davos, Basel, and BlackRock. Carney won't resist the encroachment. He will facilitate it. Because he's not here to lead, he's here to manage the integration, the merging of financial systems, defense strategies, digital infrastructures, and social controls. And this didn't start with Carney. It's been building for decades through trade agreements like NAFTA and USMCA, through partnerships in biometrics, cybersecurity, and cross-border data regulation. But Carney represents the final phase, the normalization of technocracy, the replacement of politics with procedure, of freedom with functionality, of leaders with managers. He doesn't rant like Trump. He doesn't posture like Trudeau. He speaks with the calm, measured tone of a man who knows the future is already written, and your vote isn't part of it. So while the media sells him as the adult in the room, what we're really getting is a global enforcer in a Canadian mask. A man who speaks for the institutions that created the financial crisis, profited from the pandemic, and are now positioning themselves as the saviors of the climate emergency. It's the same playbook: crisis, reaction, control, and behind it all is a vision of the world that has no room for national identity, individual liberty, or democratic resistance. Only metrics, only compliance, only systems. So ask yourself, is Carney really standing between Canada and Trump? Or is he helping to deliver the country into something far more dangerous, a system where sovereignty is obsolete and your freedom is just a temporary privilege, subject to revocation? This isn't about one man, it's about the machine he represents, and unless we name it, expose it, and reject it, Canada may soon become the test case for a new model of governance, one where elections still happen, but the outcome is always the same: rule by the unelected, enforcement by the digital, and ownership by the few.
Mark Carney's rise to power in Canada isn't about saving the country. It's about folding it into a larger, faceless global technocratic machine that treats national sovereignty like an outdated relic. While the world's been distracted by trade wars and border squabbles, Carney and his cohorts have been quietly orchestrating the demolition of independent nations, turning them into pawns in a global marketplace. And what are they selling? Your freedoms. Under the guise of buzzwords like sustainability and resilience, Carney's agenda isn't about protecting the environment, it's about controlling every aspect of your life. And it gets worse. Soon, human behavior won't be something private or personal. It'll be a marketable asset, tracked, monitored, and traded like stocks. According to Whitney Webb, everything about you could soon be tracked, quantified, and controlled, from your diet to how often you fly, even down to your political opinions. In this emerging system, every aspect of your behavior will be scrutinized to determine if you're playing by the rules. She warns of the rise of programmable money, where access to your funds could be restricted based on your actions. Step out of line, and your bank account could be frozen, robbing you of your financial freedom. But the control doesn't stop there. Webb foresees a world where digital identities, biometric tracking, and surveillance algorithms determine who has access to what. This isn't a distant dystopia. Today's web tracking and facial recognition are the beginning, and Carney's vision promises an even more invasive future. This digital technocracy isn't some accidental byproduct of progress, Webb argues. It's the result of engineered crises, economic crashes, pandemics, and geopolitical tensions, all orchestrated to create chaos, paving the way for even tighter control. The more we embrace this digital world, the more we surrender our privacy, autonomy, and freedom, all under the guise of efficiency and global cooperation. Thanks for watching. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more contents like this. See you in our next video.
Mark Carney is
Yeah, kind of a very good description, I think, of what we're up against here. Canada had been a non-player for the last decade, the lost decade, as the Conservatives would say, under the Trudeau regime, and it's not any better. It's actually worse under Carney. So I've talked to people about CBDCs and programmable money. And, hey, Lawrence, yeah, I talked to people about programmable money, and I get a blank look. They've never heard of it. They have no idea what CBDC is, or programmable money. And the leftists that I talk to, a hard job talking to them, but the few that I do, they say, their reply is, well, it's not going to affect me. Oh, why? Well, I'm not going to say anything against the government, so I mean, it's, you know, I voted for them, so it's not going to affect me. Okay, but what if it does? Well, I'll worry about it then. It's kind of late, you know, if your account's frozen. And how much are they going to give you as a stipend to live on? You're not going to be wealthy. Well, I'm not wealthy now, they'll say. No, but are you poor? No. Well, you will be. They just don't see it. They don't get it. So, a little personal story here. There's a woman not too far from here. She had a problem with her home, right? And it was a window issue, it was crooked. And I told her, I said, the sill is gone in your place and it's got to be jacked up and replaced. She thought it was a simple job. And then she needed her bathroom faucets on her tub had to be actually just refurbished or whatever, right? Some new parts. And I told her, I said, I could get those at, they're an old style, but they can still get those parts at Home Depot. Right away, she said, traitor, you traitor. I looked at her, I said, you know, the people working there at Home Depot, they need a paycheck too, right? Oh, there's a lot of Canadian products there. Oh, well, I guess. I said, well, if you want them rebuilt, that's where I'm going. If you don't want me to go there, then see you later. Oh, no, I need them done. Okay, see you next week. So this is the mentality of these people out there. They're brainwashed. Get your elbows down. Put your elbows down. I'm sick of these people. You've been duped. You've been lied to. You either won't admit it or you're just too blind to see it. And when a reality hits, it's going to hit them hard. So I have no mercy, no sympathy for them. They're on their own. When it goes down, I got my plans as much as I can plan for this going to happen. They say it could happen within 6 months. I can see that. You got Israel and Iran going at it now. We've got, of course, Russia and Ukraine. We got Israel and Gaza. Israel's got its hands full now. They bit off a lot. There's Lebanon and the Houthis. And China's in the background waiting till things get busy enough that they might make their move on Taiwan. So, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Hey, who's going to listen to Chow? I guess this one does. Those lefty idiots will. So, they have a bad source of information. We know that. John Renault, good to see you. Trump's Golden Dome defense would encompass Canada too, from countries like North Korea, Iran, China. So don't count out becoming an informal 51st state yet. There's a lot of people say, hey, look, wouldn't bother me to be 51st state. And myself, I don't even want to get in on that because I really don't care one way or the other. I just wish governments would leave me the hell alone and let me live my life. It's trying to dictate everything I have to do every day. I'm sick of that. Mullahs running scared. Yes, they are. And I just watched an interview on Fox with the Shah, not the original Shah that was deposed, but another one. And anyways, I don't think it's the original. I think he's passed away. Maybe his son. I don't know if that Shah was like royalty. I think maybe it was passed on from father to son. Anyways, he said now is the time to get them out and for the people of Iran to rise up. I met Persians that fled Iran or whatever you call it, but they great people. Look, you never meet a nicer bunch. That's why they bailed the hell out of there. So I feel sorry for the people that are stuck there, having met actual Persians. They say I'm Persian. I'm not Iranian. I'm Persian, because it was the mullahs that changed it to Iran from Persia. So Lawrence, it's his eldest son. Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And Philip prefer 51st state to Chinese province. Go to A. Meanwhile, Carney's doing everything he can to get our personal protection devices away from us, and we're not even allowed to have the little shorties like they are in the U.S., which we should be allowed to. A lot of things we should be allowed to have, but we can't have under communist rule. So, Emma, sleeper cells in Canada and U.S. too, you bet. And it's all coming to a head. This, all these military-aged males that get into the U.S., I don't think they're in trade school or technical school or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, can thank Jimmy Carter for recognizing Iran's mullahs. Yeah. And then we had, I should know his name, the Canadian ambassador over there at the time. He had to help the U.S. staff. He smuggled them out of Canada through the Canadian embassy, through the Canadian embassy. So, it was Robert something, if I could be wrong, but that's going back a while, 70s. Yeah, Canada, we're in a mess. We're a test. I believe that statement by Whitney, that we're a test company for a country, rather, for the collapse of the free world. So, yeah. John, you guys are the dowry. Well, yeah, we got the minerals, we got the water, we got the oil and gas. We've got a lot of gold mines too that we're not allowed to touch. There's still a lot of gold in Canada, so, and silver and nickel and copper and all kinds of good stuff in the ground that would sure help. Uranium, you name it, we pretty much got it, right? Canada will be the first post-national state, Nick. Yeah, well, Trudeau said that. He said we already are. He took our status away from us when he couldn't get off his knees, apologizing for everything and crying about everything and lowering flags and groveling and masking up and bad memories. Bad memories. John Renault, now thanks to Jimbo Comey, death threats against Trump are allowed and it's a dangerous game liberals are playing. Oh yeah. James Comey is still in there, eh? That's weird. No use for that dude. Now, what else did I have here? I got a couple more. the last one I have, I'm going to have to apologize for it, but I've got to, I have to play it just because it was from this afternoon, I believe. No, it wasn't. It was from a day or two ago. This one here is short, and these people are complete idiots. These rioters, you know it. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Ken Taylor, that's it, Lawrence. That's the guy. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. The lefties are idiots. These ones here, this one is just, you just want to drag her around the corner and maybe try to slap a little bit of sense into her. You'd never be able to do it, but at least stand her up and give her a good dressing down, a good scolding, and say, don't ever want to see your face around here again, type of thing. I feel sorry for the authorities having to deal with these idiots. And so I'll get this one rolling for you. This is short. Well, it's 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes. She actually lasts that long. Unbelievable, but she does.
Let my people go! Let my people go! Let them go! Let them go! Let them go! Let them go!
Hey, get off the truck! Get off the
Let
truck!
my people go! Let my people go! Let our people
Get
go!
off the truck!
Let my people go!
Come on, y'all gotta move. Y'all gotta move.
No! No! You won't take my fucking people! Don't take my fucking people! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! You're gonna kill me! You're gonna kill me! No! I can't! Don't touch me! Don't kill me!
Okay, get out!
Don't touch me, bitch! Get the fuck off me, bitch! Stop! 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 You're gonna run her over! Stop! You're gonna run her over!
Carissa, you gotta go.
I'm not getting out!
Stop it!
Carissa, you gotta run out! No, please don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! I'm a person! I'm a fucking person! Don't fucking kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't fucking 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 kill me! Let my people go! Let my fucking people go! Let my people go! Let my people go! Let my people go! No!
Sir, let go. Let go. Get out of the
Let my people go! Let my people go! Let my people go!
These are parents! These are community members! Their kids waiting outside! Their kids waiting outside, sir! Their kids waiting outside to see their loved ones! Just let them
You're
go!
separating families.
These are our people!
You're separating
These are our
families, sir.
parents! This is our community! These are our
Let them go! We want to let them go!
This is our people! These are immigrant workers! And you know they stay feed this country!
We will not let
This
them go!
country!
No! No!
These are
No! No! No!
our people!
No!
Let them go!
Let them go!
Let them go! Doesn't it hurt you? Where's the humanity? Doesn't it hurt you? You know you're kidnapping people!
Don't let them have
Doesn't it
it!
hurt you? Doesn't it hurt you?
Open the garage!
Where's your humanity?
Open
This is about us! This is about our people, our community being taken away!
Let them out!
What are you
Let them
doing?
out! Let them out! Let them out!
Everybody say left!
Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back!
Move back!
Get back! Gave the order to drive past the speed.
Watch your back, guys. Just be careful and get off the street, guys. Be careful, all right?
You guys getting your toes run over? I'm telling you to get back. I'm telling you to get back. Get back. Get back.
Don't hurt her!
Off the vehicle. Get back. Get back.
Everywhere. Why
Vehicle. Off the vehicle.
Get off the vehicle.
All right, we're good, guys.
I get a kick out of that just watching that. I've seen that about 3 or 4 times now, setting everything up. She's not a quitter. I feel sorry for the folks got to deal with that, you know. That's not good. But they do know how to take care of it in Egypt, though. They had a protest in Egypt that the foreign protesters were going to try to, I guess, I don't know if they're going to try to get into Gaza through Egypt or what what was up. But it didn't work out too good for them. And I'll show you that one here. This is just this one here is only, oh, let's see, I think it's only 14 seconds long. But they're dealing with them firsthand. This is the people themselves, I believe. It's not authorities. It looks like just the Egyptian nationals. They're just taking matters into their own hands, peacefully, but forcefully. You might say she was extricated, and I'm sure other ones that were sitting there too were dealt with the same way. So they're just dragging them out and shipping them out. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Look, we had protests in Ottawa over the deportations in California. That's how screwed up the Canadian left wing nuts are. They're just they're desperate for a cause, so they want to jump on the American cause. Just think if the Conservatives had have won and Pierre started deporting the illegals out of Canada. Oh, what a mess that would be here now. I would love to see it. I think that would be a blast watching that go down. First of all, it should be illegal to be flying another country's flag while protesting the government, as in the U.S., and as they would do in Canada too. They already are. We got the Palestinians flying the Palestinian flag and burning and stomping on the Canadian flag, and they should get a swift kick in the butt on the way out through the airport gate, and given a cheap flight back to wherever they came from. So well, it wasn't Greta treated that way. All right, the IDF have standards. She did get deported, the bunch of them, which is good. But that was no big deal. She would get kid gloves. Nick for Mockingbird media working as designed. Yeah, no kidding, eh? And the men can wear Persian rugs again. They're flying carpets. Yeah. It's yeah, the countries are going all to hell. But this is the whole Western world: Australia, Canada, New Zealand, U.S., Britain, well, England, Ireland. Ireland, they're acting up big time over there. They're kicking them out. They want them out of there. They're burning the places wherever these refugees or asylum seekers were. They're in there raping the young girls, and they just burnt the places down. You're no place to stay now. Get your ass out of here. Maybe that's the way it should be done. Well, whether or not it should be done that way, maybe that's the way it's going to end up. The Western world, it is exploding, right? To quote a line from a song. It's just a matter of time before it really goes down, right? And then I have one last video, and I can't play the whole thing because I get so disgusted watching this guy. He was an MP, just nothing but a mouthpiece, and he retired, and now he's still nothing but a mouthpiece. And he was addressing the what's it called? It's the well, it's a media scrum, anyways. In Parliament. Not in Parliament, outside of Parliament, but in the halls of Parliament. And I never liked the guy to begin with, because he's a complete jerk. And they had him on there because they gave him the time to rant because it was against President Trump coming to the G7, which is none of his business. He's not in the government anymore. He's not in the opposition. He's not in anything. You people might know who I'm talking about. He's from Ontario, Northern Ontario. He's a real piece of work, this guy. Now, it's hard to listen to. The vitriol and the anger and the hate that comes out of this guy. He needs a rubber room with one of those jackets with the really long sleeves. Yeah. So here we go, without much further ado. Charlie the Ass Hat Angus.
Good morning. I am here in the press gallery of the Parliament of Canada, the heart of our democratic engagement with people. And this morning I offer my deep concern, solidarity, and prayers with the people of California who are out in the streets unarmed defending the rule of law against illegal kidnapping and deportation, and they're being faced down by the military might of the United States Marines. We're not talking about creeping fascism here. This is full-on police state tyranny from the gangster president Donald Trump. And this is the man who will soon be crossing our border to attend the G7 meetings in Canada. I've received hundreds of messages of concern and outrage from Canadians that a convicted felon, sexual predator, and a man who has threatened our nation's sovereignty is being allowed into our country. I understand the Prime Minister Carney's reluctance to escalate the situation with the MAGA president. But we have to stop kidding ourselves, and we have to be very honest about what we are being asked to engage with. Donald Trump poses a clear threat to American democracy, to Canadian sovereignty, and to the international rule of law. And this morning, I will lay out a straightforward indictment of Donald Trump's threats, not just to his own people, and not just to Canada, but to the international rule of law. Since November 2024, Donald Trump has made over 100 attacks on Canada. And yet when it comes to the war criminal Vladimir Putin, Trump has said almost nothing except to defend, to explain, to write off the crimes of the Putin regime. He is doing this at the clear expense of the American people and the Western allies. He continually promotes Vladimir Putin while attacking President Zelensky, the people of Ukraine, and the people of Canada. We remember that when Vladimir Putin launched his murderous invasion of Ukraine, Donald Trump declared Mr. Putin a savvy genius. And he said that the arbitrary seizure of Ukrainian territory was, quote, wonderful. Trump refuses to denounce the murderous bombing of the cities of Ukraine, and he has falsely accused President Zelensky of having started the war. Trump has put the security of our European allies at risk to the benefit of Russia. He continually as well undermines American domestic security. When Russia launched cyber attacks on the United States, Trump downplayed the threat and put the blame on the, quote,
No sound again. Sorry, folks. Yeah, I was saying, I'm sorry, I'm apologizing to my American friends on here because that was just so disgusting to watch. John Renault get bent. Lynn M2 rule of law is no illegals, right? Lawrence didn't used to be a gay porn star. Just, I don't know. Nick upholding the law is illegal, LOL, yeah. Lynn, the people voted for mass deportations and they finally got what they voted for. John, defamation, liberal slander, more. I don't know why. He should be sued. Why did they give him a platform to speak in public? He's not an elected official. He's not any official of any type now. So they give him that, and it's posted. Emma, I'm so disappointed in Josh on topic. Okay. And now I'm getting the conversation. No sound. You're muted. Fred, muted. I thought it was me. I don't know what you're going to do with you, Fred. I don't know either. But at least you let me know. It's weird on my software. I got to go in. I got to switch over from speakers to my mic and mute my mic and go to speakers and then mute the speakers, go back to my mic, and then I got to bring volume up and down, all that. So that's my excuse. Well, last week it was no video. At least we got video this time. And give me time. I'm old. I learn. I'm a slow learner now, so I got to start paying attention to this, I guess. These younger ones are more professional. If you're here for professional, you're in the wrong spot. So it's going to be interesting to see how the G7 turns out. Carney banned Rebel News. Ezra replied with a lawsuit, and Carney backed off, and Rebel Media was allowed in now. So we'll see how that goes. The Bilderberg Group meeting just ended today, I think. I think that was a 5-day event. I'm not sure on that. Don't hold me to that, but it was a few days anyways. Who knows what they were up to, because we never do know what they were up to ever since Alex Jones got the boot from following them around. And there was another old guy way back, had a cowboy hat on. He was from the southern U.S., was in there ahead of Alex Jones, covering it. And then Alex got involved in it. And then he got into all kinds of trouble. So I was just watching Alex before I come on here, Alex Jones and what's her name now? She's out in New York. It'll come to me. She used to be a Democrat. Now she's a Republican. Speaking about lots of stuff. She's got a big voice. Okay. So we'll see what happens out of this G7 meeting. But you see, they brought in they brought in Starmer, Zelensky. The Saudi prince turned it down. He said, "No, I don't want any part of that show." So he didn't show up. I don't blame him. Gabbard? No, it's not Tulsi Gabbard. I can picture her. I just can't think of her name right now. Yeah, Gabbard's from Hawaii. Yes, ex-military. She's quite the woman, that one. I don't know. It might show up here on the phone. I was at the Dollarama today. I had to pick up a couple of things. The woman behind me had a half mask on with 2 canisters. That must be awful uncomfortable, living life like that, where walking around with a half mask, canister mask on. You know, I do have a little bit of pity for those people, because they're so brainwashed. They're all bought in, right? So let's see if I can bring it up here.
We're going to drive the dictator from power. No king.
Let's It's not showing her name here. He'll announce her.
From Oxford, Dr. Wolf was an informal consultant in the Clinton re-election campaign and formerly advised Al Gore in 2000. She is the first American woman whose portrait is hung in the Rhodes House, Oxford University. She is the co-founder and CEO of DailyClout.io, a news and legislative...
Yeah, Naomi Wolf. Very intelligent woman. Intelligent enough that she's seen the Democrats go into all the, you know what, and she never ever thought she'd be a Republican, but she is now. So, wearing a gas mask is dreadful to say the least. Yeah, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and he's just to get a prescription renewed, and he's big on masking, eh? He gives me a hard time. I'm going in there and I'm going to show him my H2S Alive card and tell him that I don't mind the visit being short because I have a hard job breathing with a mask on because I get hit with 20,000 parts per million of hydrogen sulfide, H2S gas. 1,000 will kill you on the spot. 500 parts per million will take away your sense of smell. And 20,000, well, obviously that's way over it. People dropped the monitors. That's as high up as the monitors went, and they scattered. We were on teams of 6 teams of 2. Myself, my partner, were the last 2 to unbutton our flange. We were on the same line. Something happened, and theirs were clear. They had their blinds in. We opened the one we were on up, and we got hit. So I had a full face mask with supplied air. I almost blew the mask off my face. I lost my voice. Had to throw all my clothes away, my belt away, everything, my coins, everything was so contaminated. And so anyways, I definitely got some lung damage from that. And then I got hit with SO2, sulfur dioxide, too. A pretty good shot of that. So I'm quite upset when the doc says, put your mask up over your nose. So I got to show him a card and explain to him what's going on. So, yeah, he's a dick. He's a dick. But the thing is, it's hard to get a doctor, and if I got one, I can't just go find another one, and they'll say, you already got one. Even though he doesn't like me. But anyways, it'll be a short visit, but I'm going to tell him it was his father was my doctor. His father went in, he had to hand off a bunch of patients because he was getting ready to retire, so he handed them off to his son. And I had, his father was great, and I had talks with him about this. I'm going to tell this guy, look, if you look at my records, if you take a minute or two, you can find that your father's got this all documented in there. So, yeah, not looking forward to it, but I'm fed up with him. I don't like being treated like, you're just a rebel. No, I can't breathe. If my mouth is covered, my nose is covered. I won't even get into the fact that masks don't do anything, and he should know better than that, being a doctor. So, but if he's that hard-nosed on these masks, I question his doctor qualifications, like how good of a doctor is he? Definitely doesn't have the experience. Face still wearing masks. I know, it's insane out there. It all started with Trudeau. Tam resigned. Theresa Tam walks away clean, no issues. Right? She should be in front of a trial judge fighting against lawsuits and jail time is where that thing should be. I still don't know if it's a Tom or Tam. I don't know. But they're talking about Gavin Newscomb should be charged for treason. Well, what about Trudeau? They're 2 peas in a pod. He destroyed the country, 10 years. He walks away, 2 pensions, gives us the bird, and disappears. Is that right? No, that's the problem with our political system. This should not be allowed to happen. They're all doing it, all these MPs. And look at the Liberals MPs that when Trudeau was taking the party down there. Oh, I'm not going to run again. I'm not going to run again. They all said, no, I'm not going to run again. And then as Carney comes along, oh, I'm back. I get 4 more years of $300,000 a year plus pension, bump my pension up, and yeah, no, I'm back. How did they know Carney was going to go in? Isn't that a good question? Did they have the inside tip that, don't worry, we got this? He was selected. So, yeah. Scary thoughts when you start digging deep into this. And look, I really, really like this Dave guy from Vancouver Island, Moose on the Loose. If anybody's not following him, definitely follow this guy. Jasmine Lane, too. The two of them, they're excellent. And Moose, what I get a kick out of this guy, he's got a chart, or a graph rather, that he's been, or a chart that he's been working on. And it's all connected, all Brookfield and Carney and all the cohorts and everybody, and he's going to put it all together and into video and then post it and get everybody to share it. And I do think the Conservative Party is keeping an eye on this guy, because it seems that he's breaking the news and it ends up being brought up in the House of Commons. He's doing the legwork for them. So definitely, Faye, you watch him. Emma knows his stuff. Sharp's attack, you know it. And also, like I say, so is Jasmine Lane. There's those are two big ones I watch, and I watch their channels grow. I started watching Jasmine when she had around a little under 50,000, and I said, you're going to hit 100,000 this year, which she did. And then I said, you're going to hit 150,000, which she did. She's on her way to 200. Moose is a little over 200,000, I think, or maybe 150, I'm not sure. Not that it matters. Pierre was a joke in the end. Yeah, he did fall apart. I agree with you there. He got blindsided. And look, like I say, Carney was a plant. It was all stacked, ready to roll. Not trying to make excuses for the guy, but I still think he's the guy for the job. We'll see how that goes. They don't have anybody else in there. So, Nick, yeah, no angry messaging, yeah. But they don't have anybody else with the stamina and he's quick. He's quick with his responses, and he knows his stuff. He has a good plan. His plan was so good that Carney had to steal it in order to win the election. Not that Carney's going to follow through with it, but he did steal it. So we'll see. They got to have a by-election here soon. Get him back into the House of Commons. The Liberals are having a heyday. The left wing online, no, he doesn't even have a seat. Ha ha ha, right? He's a nobody. Ha ha. Whatever. We don't pay attention to them, the trolls. So, Emma, yeah, that's a good point. He has his ex-girlfriend take care of things. She messed up. She's messed up the last 3 elections, but actually O'Toole messed up his on his own. He didn't need any help. Poilievre still won popular vote. You guys think that election was legit? No, not at all. Not at all. It was definitely tampered with. Fay added to his riding with a Liberal riding, then had a whole bunch of names. Yeah. And, yeah, they added his riding with a Liberal riding, yeah. Everything was stacked against him. But look at the rallies. The rallies were huge. Look what happened to Trump in 2020. Look at the rallies Trump had. And Biden never left the basement. Remember the videos of Joe Biden during the campaign where they had circles on the floor for people to stand in? And there was like 12 people there, and they were media. It might have been this. Jill might have been in one of the circles or something, I don't know, but it was pretty much just the media. Nobody showed up, nobody cared about him, and Trump lost. Was that legit? Well, it's funny how in Canada, look at the ballots that they found now, and the ones that were closed early, the polling stations, and these extra ballots that weren't counted, but they're not going to do anything. Well, that's the way it is. So, yeah. So explain to me how he was a joke. Yeah. Well, at the end, Faye, what I've seen, the way I've seen it now, he kept pounding the same thing, and it was too late. It was too late. And like, who was it? Emma said his ex-girlfriend took care of things, and she messed up. That's why, because he kept pounding that same thing over and over. He didn't change it up. But it wasn't him, it was her. Jenny Byrne, I think her name is. So, definitely got to get rid of her. He's going to get that riding in Alberta. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Wouldn't matter how long of a ballot they throw out there. Nobody else on the ballot's going to get any votes. So, I'm looking forward to him getting back into the House of Commons and having a voice. Right now, they're doing pretty good. You know who I'm really impressed with is Andrew Lawton. I am so happy that he got elected in London, Ontario. Andrew is just tearing them apart. He's going to be a minister. He's a future minister, I'll tell you that. He's got to be. I noticed the guy from New Brunswick, from this riding here where I'm in, he was a lounge singer. He sits, you'll see him sitting in behind the front bench, in behind Carney, and just off to Carney's right, 1 or 2 seats. He's got round wire-rimmed glasses and bushy hair. David Miles is the guy's name. He hasn't said a word since he got in there. Every once in a while, it looks like he's playing games on his phone. And when all the Liberals start clapping senselessly, then he'll stop and start clapping along with them, and then that's it. He's just useless. So he got put in because this is a strong Liberal riding, and the opposition, the Conservative, Brian McDonald, he didn't have any public events. He had a couple at his house, but he didn't get out and do the public events. He did get out when Pierre was here at the rally, but Jenny Byrne said no, they didn't want these Conservatives that were running to get up. None of them got to get out in their ridings and speak because she didn't want them to. So that was another reason. So there's a lot of stuff went down in this last election. And the ones before that, there's no way that Trudeau kept winning. There was something going on there too. I mean, O'Toole was a loser. So I write that one off anyways. Actually, I'm glad he didn't win. You know, he would have been worse, I think, if that's possible. Because he would have, I don't know. Anyways, that's history. Scheer, I met Scheer when he was running. I was at a meeting there, and I wasn't impressed. You know, he didn't, Scheer just doesn't have it. So, and Pierre was the man. And I think next time when people realize, if we get another election, right, we don't even know if we're going to get another election. We got Carney in there now. Emmett O'Toole wanted all Canadians poked. That's right. Yep. He was a dancing fool with all the rest of them. Now Singh's under security detail. He's got security. He's hiding out from somebody. He should be extradited to India. Let Modi take care of him. Anyways, I guess that's enough bitching for one Sunday. So thanks for joining. Always great to see you on here, and hope I didn't disturb you too much with some of the Charlie Angus and that crap. But that's just an example. I had to put him out there because that's an example that he's still got a voice which he shouldn't have, and they're letting him run wild like the idiot that he is, and I'm scared we're going to have to deal with him for many years yet. So folks, take care out there, and best of luck to the you American folks down there. You got to deal with that mess that it's not going to get better for a while until they get a lot more out. I told that woman, oh no I didn't, it was another one. This is another woman I was dealing with. We're talking about the deportations before we go here. The deportations, I said, yeah, but Obama deported more than what Trump's trying to deport. What? Because I know she's liberal. She said, what? I said, yeah. Well, I didn't know that. I said, no. I said, but you know what? Bill Clinton deported more than Obama. Clinton? I said, yeah, Clinton. Oh. Because they don't know. Because they don't pay attention. Okay, folks. Been a blast. Thanks a lot. Bye for now. God bless. Don't take the path of least resistance. Fight, fight, fight. We got to stand for our rights. Bye.